Hey everybody, this is Anna from the Faithful Dove. I've been off for a while. I'm not even sure where this is going. It could be going to my regular account. I got really sick and I'd been sick for a long time. And then I ended up for a week, I got really sick and it wasn't in my appendix area, but it turns out my appendix was bursting. So I look a little different. They still haven't found my other problem. So bear with me. I have something to say. I'm really done with all the bullshit. I'm sorry. I know I'm a child of God, but I have moved to a place where these people don't get out of town. There's constant persecution of each other, and it's ignorant. Okay, not everybody's doing it, but I feel like people have lived here so long, they didn't go anywhere else to meet anybody new. And also, I'm seeing this obviously a lot online as well. It's not just here. Uh, a lot of people claiming to be oriented with Jesus Christ believe in the Bible and even go to church. Well, sorry, I'm trying to adjust this so you can see me. Let me tell you something. I've had a lot of people claiming that oh, it, yeah, we don't like these transgenders, we don't like these people or those people or whatever. And they're basing it on an experience they had. Okay. I want to tell you something. I've lived all over the Eastern Seaboard, and there are places where there are nice people. And there are places where there's not nice people. There's nice people everywhere. There's bad people everywhere. But these people are so, God help me. I ask God help me with this. These people are so simple minded and ignorant that they're basing a whole culture on just a teeny bit of people. Okay, first of all, let me tell you something. My dad taught me you get to know everybody for who they are. It doesn't matter their sexuality, it doesn't matter their religion. If they're good people, they're good people. If they're bad people, they're bad people. And the first thing I would like to point out is, before we start, who are the people who've been the meanest to you? They're your family. They're your supposed friends. Am I correct? Okay. People who claim to be your friends. And who are most of those people? They're your people. So don't go thinking that just because an African American or a Muslim was mean to you, that means they're all mean. Because I'm sick of that. I've talked to people all over the world. I've had Afghanistan people, sorry, I haven't sleeping. I've had Afghanistan men and women sit and talk with me. Okay. And I said, if you're willing to tell me what you're hearing, I'm willing to tell you if it's true or not. And then can I ask you some questions? Yes, we did. So I learned a lot ago, even in the third world countries, even in war torn and terrorist countries, most people are not like that. Okay. And it's ignorant to think that they are. And the most ignorant thing that's being done is, okay, some Muslim got into our government and she says she hates, I'm going to mention the name. She says all the time she hates America. And Americans are going, in the government are going, oh, she just doesn't know the language. Bullshit. She knows the language. Um, if you don't like America, there's the door. There's the door. There's the door. And there's the door. Go back to your country. Okay. And the other point I would like to make is that America was created and founded upon everybody, all cultures, all religions, all races. Okay. We all came here so that we didn't have religious persecution, so that we could do what we want, so that, within legal limits. Okay. But let's start with these people who claim they're Christians. By the way, just to let you know, I'm a pastoral counselor. Uh, they're running around being hating on other cultures and religions, races too, and I don't like it. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to put up with it. Okay. I am unfiltered. I may be a child of God, but I have been Facebook jailed so much for protecting people from bullies. Okay. Let me tell you something. These people are just haters. Okay. A lot of them don't have enough experience in life to know, they haven't gotten out there. My dad raised me with love. He raised me with honor. He raised me to go with the side of right. Unfortunately, some people don't like that because they grew up in an environment where even if you're wrong, you're supposed to support the person that's wrong. No, no fucking way. How is that helping anybody? That's contributing to hate. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you're in my presence and I find out that you do not like a certain culture just because of a few people, I'm going to leave. Okay. I'm not putting up with that shit anymore. And this doesn't just go to race, culture, and religion. You have to realize it feels very personal when you're persecuted against, but the people who are hating on you, they're hating on everybody. Okay. For instance, the KKK. The KKK has reportedly had times where they've hated Spanish people, but when they needed the Spanish people to persecute the Black people, suddenly they were getting along. So, no. Okay. You love everybody, or you just, okay. And I'm sick of people saying, well, transgenders are sinning. We hate them. Trinks and chinks and spanks and all that. Okay. No, no. Number one, God does not say to persecute people. Jesus died on that cross. He took all of our persecution. He took all of our sin. And to God, there is not one higher sin than another. Okay. It's all the same. And because Jesus died on the cross for you and for me, we have a chance. Even murderers have a chance to be forgiven if they repent with a pure heart. Okay. So don't make me call up. Oh my goodness. And I don't care. Right now, I'm going to tell you, right now, I'm fat. I've been at all stages in my life. Obviously, my boyfriend thinks I'm not that big of a deal, but I'm, whatever. Who cares? Okay. I don't like it. This Christianity thing and the bigotry, okay, it pours out, the hate pours out over into fat people, too skinny of people, whatever. Okay. It is God's job to judge, not yours. Okay. And only remember this, ladies and men who getting persecuted against because of your size, only 0.5% of people do not like you the way you are. But me and this girl, when I was younger, we dated the same guys by accident. She discovered she was the bombshell, blue-eyed, perfect body girl. I was just the regular pretty girl at the time. Ugh, don't even get me there. I'm 51 years old. We discovered these people, every single one of them. They didn't like her because she was too skinny. They didn't like other people because they were too fat. They didn't like something about me. Okay. It feels very personal, but don't take it personal. They're just losers. Okay. And these people who claiming to be Christians are not Christians. Okay. You cannot claim that you're Christian and use the name of Christianity and good for your purpose of evil doing. Okay. You cannot do that. Okay. Just like Martin Luther King, he had haters. He had people out there saying they were killing and murdering and causing trouble in his name. Okay. Not true. He never once asked anybody to do that, but the rest of everybody would be like, oh my God, we don't like Martin Luther King anymore because there's these people and they're like killing and stuff. Can you not separate out his message and God's message from what they're doing? Because it says in the Bible, if you don't like a law or you don't like something that's happening, say it's a law, you follow the law and you change it. but you never go against love and use hate, like burning down churches and things like that. You don't do that to change the law. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else. I might be getting on differences about haters. It comes out to about haters. It was only about 100 people who got prayer taken out of the schools. It's only the transgenders. Most of them do not believe that the children should be taught the crap that they're being taught about sexual orientation. Do you understand that? It's a few screaming loud. And the media doesn't help because the media showcases this for their own propaganda, for their own news, to keep it, because people are excited and people want to watch and it gets people in an uproar and ratings are up. Okay, journalists like Walter Cronkite, journalists used to actually just tell you the news and keep their opinion out of it. Okay, that is what the oath that they take. That's not what's happening today. Everything, my friends, everything is set and designed to separate us, to separate culture, race, religion, so that we hate each other. And while we're fighting, they're going to do what they have to do. Look, the government has already gotten away with too much and too many crappy changes. And, you're out there fighting someone who you're going to need later on. Okay. And I'm not talking about other haters. I'm talking about people who are like, oh, you know what? They said this mean thing to about us. And, now you're going around attacking people and come to find out, wasn't even that person. It was all propaganda to get you upset. Okay. So how do you fight with love? This is something that is very difficult because our emotions were supposed to only be meant for God to alert us of things. They were not meant to be played with by evil, by mean people, by people trying to do bad. How do you fight with love? Okay, what are we supposed to do about, should we be persecuting people who are sinning? Should we be persecuting, transgenders, LGBT, lesbian, gay, whatever people? I'm sorry, guys, I'm tired. And yes, I have friends in every area of life, so they will understand this. But it has been really upsetting me, and I've been up at nights. Not to mention there's 50-mile-an-hour winds last night. But I wanted to tell you that most of America is good. Most of the world is good. They're finding out there are these little pockets of people that are just nasty. And the race riots and everything, they've linked almost every one of those people back to being in one of the violent gangs or having a violent criminal record. Okay. You have to be able to separate all this stuff out because my grandmother was full blood Cherokee Indian, about the Trail of Tears and everything. And um, to be honest, I do take on a lot of her heritage. I respect her. I loved her. But she became an orphan because of the Trail of Tears. I'm still looking up her history because her and her sister deserve that. Um, I just wanted to tell you that no, many, many verses in the Bible. If you're going to throw at me my sin, and like I recently had somebody, because I'm a sinner, I know it. I'm not a preacher. Okay, I'm a pastoral counselor. I'm an ordained minister, but I'm not up there preaching because I don't think that maybe I don't think I fit that. Okay, how can I go up and preach when I'm a sinner? But the truth is, we're all sinners. I get it. I've looked it up in the Bible, and I wouldn't dare do like some of the disciples did and be like, "Oh, I'll be there for you, God." When someone is trying to stab me, if I'm not on your side, I'm going to tell him, God, you prepared me the best that you can prepare me for this. I'm going to try, but you know what I'm actually going to do at the time. Now, every time God has called upon me, I have been there. Okay. But I have not had a situation where someone's trying to murder me or anything. So I would hope that Jesus would come be with me at that time and lift me up, because I do want to do his will and say his words. Okay. But I'm not going to guarantee that, because I don't know that. So I'm not going to be like those disabled and say, no problem. I got you. Even in the midst of persecution and being killed, I got you. I'm not going to do that, because God already knows what I'm going to do. Um, I don't understand some of what God has put me through since 2016. I don't understand what's going on and why he's allowing this world to be the way it is. I feel different. I feel alone, because I still believe in love. I still believe in giving people chances. You guys don't even know the situation I got myself into for, I would say, about a year. Yeah. I was dating this guy, and he never left from the first date. He never left me alone. And it turned, he was alcoholic abuser. He's dying of alcoholism, and I had to escape in the middle of the night. He has constantly stalked me, to the point where a group is helping me right now. I have moved. Well, he's only stalking me online. There's no way he'd make it to where I live now, but it's terrible. And to see these people, they're sick, to see these people look at other people, and they're exactly like them. And like one time I asked him, do you see any of this in yourself? And he's, oh, no, I don't. They don't. They really don't. So never go, whoa. So never go with a person by yourself, and never go back to their place. Yeah. So anyway, should we persecute people for their sins? Should we call them names? Should we call them out? Should we treat them like crap? No. And I just read an article that said that most of the people who are transgender end up changing back. Okay. They, a lot of them are saying that they felt like they didn't fit in. They felt like they weren't the sex they were born to be. They felt like they were persecuted. You guys, a lot of times, I asked one of them, I said, when did all this start? Well, it started about the time puberty hit. Okay, gotcha. Okay, do you realize puberty has us feeling hormonal, has us feeling awkward, has us feeling less than we are, has us feeling really crazy and sexual, that you're not always going to, I'm sorry about the light, guys. You're not always going to feel like yourself. Okay. You're changing, your body's changing. And I just don't think anybody, let's say if somebody tried to teach my kids about that in elementary school, I would pull my kids from school. And that's because, okay, and I don't want to hear any of y'all crazy people out there, because let me tell you something. It has nothing to do with if you're transgender or not. It has to do with children are not old enough to understand, and they're going to immediately assume that, like there was a 9-year-old after being taught that, who was like, you know what, nobody likes me, I must be the other, they can't grasp that. Okay. um and so it's not right. And most of your transgender people are against it. The only ones you're seeing online on TV screaming for it to be taught are what we call extremists. Okay. There are very few of them. What do you do? What do you do? Do you create a hate for those people because they're sinning, they're well, then you might as well hate yourself. You might as well hate everybody, because we all do it. We've all sinned. Maybe we're not changing our sex, but God does not see us as one sin as being higher than the other. Okay. What we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be praying for them, understanding of them. We don't have to understand why they did it, but just be understanding. Okay. And as far as culture and race, I've the most beautiful, and I miss them so much. Muslim neighbors down in Germantown, Maryland. They had my back every 5 seconds. Okay, they were what they called themselves peaceful Muslims. Okay, they came here to escape the Muslim religion as it was, but they were trying to save some of their uh, well, I mean, that's who they are, Muslims. So they were, I guess they were trying to change it into something good when they got over here. Well, oh, one time a Muslims did something, and then all of a sudden, these people who've been here 20 or 30 years they're having to worry about being beat up. And they had people come up to them who didn't even know them, who were mean to them. Okay, there's no sense in that. Think about it. These people came here and lived peacefully for years. They're here, most of them, for a reason. Okay. Now, no, and I don't agree with okay. I was married to a Spanish guy. His family brought him over here when he was young. They came over illegally, not illegally, cancel that. They came over here completely legal, legal. See, I'm tired. They came over here legally, and they got their papers like everyone else said, that was legal. His dad is a wonderful person. His mom is a wonderful person. They all learned English and acclimated to our language. Okay. And they agree that people need to come over here legally. It's just not safe. It's not safe for those people to rush our country and be out there with all those people traveling that there's murderers, kidnappers, whatever. Okay. We can't help them. There are people getting hurt. Okay. Both in our country and on the way over, because there are bad people mixed in with them. That is why you need to come in legally. Okay. Because we need to know who you are. We need to be able to protect you and ourselves. Okay. We can't do that if you're undocumented and you're just shoving in by the millions. Okay. And it really is. And I feel sad that there was, I heard that, I can't remember his name. It was the guy who was paying people to protest for him. And they were saying, we don't believe in this, but he's paying us $500 for the day. Um, but he was telling them, and some other people were encouraging them, saying, come on over. Okay. Supposedly, most of I call them oddballs in the government, believe that they're going to pick up the workforce and the children that are not being born, because it's true. We do need a certain amount of babies being born to take over for us when we retire. Okay. We're not going to have that, but uh, you can't force people to have babies. And we had a point in time where let's just say there was too much money given for unemployment during COVID, and people saved it and they just stayed off for an extra couple of years, and now they're rushing back to work. Okay. But in the midst of that, uh, they're believing that, fine, if our own Americans won't work and they won't work for the price that we need them to, we're just gonna, dumbass, I'm sorry, God forgive me, believes that, well, I'll just get them from somewhere else. But that's not the way to handle it. The way to handle it in the first place was to give people what they were getting, not make it so that I have a friend who did this, stayed off 2 extra years because she saved up everything that she was given. And I have other people who realized we don't need a second income. I can raise my own kids. Well, all those people doing that hit the economy hard, and the prices go up, inflation, crap. We never get paid what we're supposed to anyway. But anyways, all this hate, stop it. Okay. I believe there's going to be a civil war at some point. For instance, it says we have the right to bear arms against an unjust government. Okay, they're trying to disarm us. Do I believe in guns? Yes and no. Okay, I'm a peaceful. I don't want one, but I'm not going to take, because true freedom is allowing other people to have their freedoms too. So, but if it comes to the point where I feel like a civil war is coming on, I will buy a gun and get trained, because my family will not be destroyed, okay, without me trying to protect them. And for me to say that, it's pretty serious, because I'm a very, I had somebody once tell me, well, you're a counselor and you're so patient. You should have been able to deal with her torturing you. Oh my God. Guys, counselors are human beings. Okay. We help people. Most of us have been through crap, so we want to help people. And I'll tell you the reason I went in to be a clinical psychologist, and I was told during one of my first 3 classes, I'm sorry, if your people, your clients want to pray, you cannot pray with them. That's why I switched to pastoral counseling, because how am I going to help somebody if 85% of people believe in God? How am I going to help them if I can't be respectful of them, at least bow my head? Okay. I believe that they were trying to take my right away and my ability to help people. So that's how I became a pastoral counselor. But I love you guys, and I want you to start thinking before you do things, okay? Something you see on TV, even everything you see on TV is not right, okay? Like my mother used to say, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Well, we've come to a portion of time where question everything. Believe none of what you see. Believe none of what you hear, okay? They're taking pieces and parts of people's speeches, and it's kind of like the Bible. If you don't read the verse before and the verse after, you're not getting the right meaning. So don't just sit there and turn on channel 5 and think this is what you're getting. You're getting the truth. You're getting pieces that fit their agenda. Okay. It's time for us to stop hating each other. I mean, don't do that. And for God's sake, don't torture people you don't know. You don't know them. I mean, it's different if they come up to you with a fucking Uzi or they threaten you, excuse my language. But these people are walking down the street who've been here for 30 years and they're getting beat up. I mean, grow up. Separate it out. Do nothing. Okay? Like Master Tim always taught us. He's a Junri instructor, and he taught my son very well. You only defend yourself in a life or death situation. Okay? You use your defense skills, blocking, things like that. Rolling. Okay? If you warn verbally, and if they don't listen, Bradley had this happen in school. We had 3 kids go up against him. And he said, I warned him. He said, look, I don't want no trouble here. And you need to back off and go away. Well, guess what? One of them threw his arm up to punch him. He flipped that kid. Another one. Bradley is peripheral. I swear the kid can see behind him. I don't know how he does it. But he saw the kid's leg coming up. Like, he twisted real quick, flipped him. But he was back. Other kids were telling me the story. He's like, he was back right there for the other kid. The other kid, two out of 3. And then the third started too. Oh, like, you hurt my friends, whatever. No. You bully, that's what you get. And we taught Bradley, but I didn't have to teach him this. He was a good-hearted kid. Basically, he went into the bathroom another day and some kids were trying to bully a new kid, and he warned them, knock it off. And they said no, and he handled the business. See? It's not always about fist fighting and kicking and violence. Okay. And I recommend, I don't know how much they cost now, but if you're a parent or even for yourself, Junery had a $99, I think it was 2-week course back in the 90s. I'm sure it's a couple $100 now. It was the best course ever. I loved it. But watch your masters. You need to know every master has a different philosophy for these classes. You want the one that you only fight in life or death situations. Okay. Don't be scared and react. Okay. You want to be able to evaluate the situation and have quick defense moves. It worked. And Bradley is now almost 30 years old and it's still working. Okay. One of the problems is people keep taking people who have cute little faces who look like little kids, and like people, I don't look like a little kid anymore. I'll get the light set up properly in here anyway. And they think, oh, I can walk all over her. I can walk all over him. Well, it's the cutest and most innocent looking people that you don't want to mess with because they will break bad on you. But anyways, I don't know if this is coming up sound or not. I hope it is. And I'll watch it later because I'll be like, I haven't done this in a while. So behave yourselves. Don't believe anything you see or hear anymore. Keep with the people that you know. Okay. And remember, there's bad everywhere in every culture, but most of the people are good. Okay. And I want to say in this with a little prayer, Father in heaven, we thank thee for everything you do. And we want Israel, we want everyone, Israel, the terrorists, third world countries, anyone who is against us or against you to enlighten them, show them the right way, and protect the innocent. God, protect the innocent. We want everybody to understand that, touch them to understand that there's bad everywhere and they have to treat people individually and handle things properly. We ask all this in your name. Amen. Bye, guys.